to say is our partner is going to shock the world because he is none other than the Shockmaster!
Welcome. They said it couldn't be done. They said that we never last more than one episode, but here we are, the XyCast. I'm Rich, and with me are Brian and Eddie. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Sup?
Yeah. Woo! I'm excited. I'm excited that we're on episode 2. And, we haven't jumped the shark yet. But, speaking of sharks, somebody who, used to partner with a wrestler who was later known as the Shark, previously known as Earthquake. He is Fred Ottman, our guest later. That made sense, right? Because Earthquake was the Shark in WCW, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so Typhoon, a.k.a. Tugboat, a.k.a. the Shockmaster, Fred Ottman will be with us later as we interview him.
It's going to be amazing.
I am excited. Yes, excite. So, yeah, let's talk Payback. WWE Payback was this past Sunday night, and it was alright.
I enjoyed it. It was, I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was okay.
Payback's one of these shows that everybody will forget about by Night of Champions SummerSlam, due to the fact nothing really major happened, like Survivor Series and Sting, or any like Royal Rumble or whatever. It's one of those pay-per-views that we will forget come 3-4 months from now, guaranteed.
There wasn't really anything special about it.
Besides that 5 seconds where the internet creamed themselves near the end.
Yeah, and they also, was that when they announced the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view? Or did they announce that before?
May 11th Raw.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like halfway through and they announced it, which is stupid, may I add.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one per month is already enough, if not too much.
Plus, they have a June pay-per-view, June 14th, and that pay-per-view's going to get a 2-week build-up now.
No, I know.
That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to do that.
Tell me about it.
But at least it's a WWE Network exclusive too. It's not like a regular pay-per-view. It's just a view.
They're building it up like a regular pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, not even, because like you said, there's only 2 weeks until that, and then 2 weeks until the next one. It's overkill, I think.
It is overkill.
What's June's pay-per-view?
Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, come on.
Which...
That needs more than 2 weeks worth of build.
Exactly. They've been doing the match itself since 2005.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah. Well, whatever. So, all right, let's run down the matches here. First, R-Truth defeated Stardust. Was that during the pre-show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch the pre-shows for some reason.
Who would put either of them on a main pay-per-view card right now?
Yeah.
Vince Russo.
Exactly. So I said recently that the whole thing with Macho Mandow and Curtis Axel, I said that I was only going to support that whole storyline if Axel actually started dressing up as Hogan and using Real American as his entrance theme. And sure enough, at Payback, that finally happened.
Yeah. The Mega Powers.
I do think he could have gotten a better name than Axelmania, though.
I'm trying to think of one, but nope, can't think of one.
That match at Payback, though, It was bad. I mean, extremely short match. The Ascension annihilated them. Um, I don't know. It made them look bad. It made them look really bad.
Yeah, I'll never understand why WWE will appear to push somebody or some people and then just kill them or just not do anything with their push.
Yeah, it happens a
It's
lot more than it should.
it really seems like they saw Damian Sandow's gimmick and they saw Curtis Axel's gimmick and they said, hey, these two are kind of similar, so let's put them in a tag team together because that's what WWE does. These two people are kind of similar, so hey, they're gonna team up. You know, they both copy other wrestlers or other people.
Definitely should have been more to that match, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler rematch from WrestleMania. Not the same stipulation, but we did see that.
It was Extreme Rules, you dumbass.
Well, yeah, same thing, except not really. That's how forgettable Extreme Rules was to me. I completely forgot that it was at Extreme Rules.
Me too.
But yeah, Sheamus picked up the win, but he did some kissing.
I don't know. I did start the pay-per-view kind of late, but thanks to the WWE Network and its on-demand nature, I was able to start it about like 45 minutes late. But I must not have been paying attention to this match. And I love Dolph Ziggler. I just don't like Sheamus. I don't know. He was, when he debuted, I was into the character, and then just it's been years since I really cared. I mean, he has a nice entrance theme. That's about it.
Yeah, I liked him when he first showed up, and I don't know. When he first turned face, that's when I started to lose interest.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who just works much better as a heel, and now that he is one, I don't know. It just seems like it's not too late, but I don't know. I've stopped caring for so long that it's hard to care again.
Yeah.
Maybe soon. I don't know. We'll see. I'll still give him a chance, but I don't know.
Well, next match for Payback, and I know Eddie loves this. The New Day defeated Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Ha!
And it's Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. It's not the Brass Ringers or Brass Ring Grabbers or the Masters of the WWE Universe or whatever tag team name people are making up. Because I have not heard anything official other than their names,
It's all they've officially been announced as.
Yeah, they don't have an official name. It's just Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. But so many different places will say they're Masters of the WWE Universe or the Brass
Ring Club.
Yeah, the Brass Ring Club. That's it. That's like did somebody make that up? If I can't make up theme titles, then people can't make up tag team names. Sorry.
You tell them.
Yeah. But yeah, that match was pretty good.
Real good.
Very good.
Very, very good. Especially the end result.
I still don't like the New Day. I really don't.
One day you will.
Maybe. I mean, they're not bad heels. Like, they're good at playing their part, but I don't know. I don't like them. I don't
One
know
day
why.
you will.
It's almost like I'm still waiting for something to happen with them. Some either a split or a turn or some change. I don't know. The way they are right now, it's kind of.
They've already changed.
All right, I'm on the Pro Wrestling Wikia site, and they call them the Brass Ring Club too. What is the source for this name?
They had T-shirts. They worn T-shirts that said the Brass Ring Club that were basically like a rip-off of the Bullet Club.
Oh, okay. Because I'm seeing there's a section that says the meaning behind the name, and it explains what the phrase brass ring means, and I already know that. And I'm just reading, and it doesn't say where I don't know. It's weird. Like, I get the meaning behind the name, but not the origin of the name. But yeah, I see the Brass Ring Club T-shirt. That's not an official WWE shirt, is it?
Nope.
No.
Now they've worn it on a few occasions, and
Once.
and everybody's like, oh, I guess that's their name.
Yeah. No.
You wore it once, by the way.
Just like one of them posted on Twitter calling themselves the Masters of the WWE Universe, but that wasn't their actual name. Like, people can call themselves things without it being their official name.
We had it as their name for a little bit.
Anyway, so yeah, Bray Wyatt then defeated Ryback.
I'm at the point where I can't stand Ryback. I don't know.
Ryback as a face doesn't make a lot of sense to me, especially while watching Raw this past Monday night. Hearing him talk about Daniel Bryan in a positive way, it seemed really out of character. I never thought that Ryback would care about anybody but himself, in a way, It was really weird, and just him as a face in general is odd to me. It doesn't seem like him,
He's better off as a heel.
Yeah. Another guy who really should be a heel.
Spike.
And Bray Wyatt at this point feels like he's just being thrown into random storylines now. He'll wrestle one guy for a month, and then go on to somebody else for a month, and then somebody else, and just seems very random.
This whole Ryback and Bray Wyatt thing's so random too.
Brayback. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed really put together at the last minute. Bray Wyatt interrupts Ryback during a promo, and that begins a feud. And then Bray Wyatt will probably, I don't know. And with Ryback being the Elimination Chamber Intercontinental Championship match, who is Bray Wyatt going to be with next? Or is he going to reunite with Rowan and Harper, or what? I don't know.
They got me so confused over it. I don't even know what's going on.
I don't know. I like to think it's leading to something bigger, because Bray did say that Ryback was just in his way. But in his way to what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Wyatt beats Ryback, and then Ryback goes on to be in a championship match. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, like they're completely unrelated now.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably just needed something for him to do. I don't know.
What if this is going to build to a Sting versus Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, I don't know.
They've hinted about it.
All right. Sting is one of my favorites, but if that were to actually happen, I would have to say that I would want Bray to win.
Hell has frozen over.
Well, I mean, I like Bray, and like I don't think that he should have lost at WrestleMania. That there was no point at all in him losing at WrestleMania other than to, give Undertaker another win. But it made Bray look weak, and then he hasn't really done anything important after that.
That's true.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, then we have John Cena defeating Rusev thanks to Lana, who supposedly translated Rusev's words and claimed that he was quitting the match. She claimed that he was saying, "I quit," which was interesting because WWE never likes to be consistent with rules. Like, they'll make it seem like the rules say one thing, but then no, something else can happen. Because I assumed that if you wanted to quit a match, you would have to say, "I quit," Because the rules say that you have to say "I quit," but he technically didn't, no matter what language it was.
Went way too long than it should have.
So a fan translated what Rusev said at the end of the I Quit match at Payback, and according to him or her, he said, I give up. Next time we will crush you. I give up. Stop. I told you. I'll crush you, Cena. Damn your old mother, Cena. I will crush you. That's enough. I told you. Damn your old mother, Cena.
It's so random.
Talk about it in your fake Russian accent.
No, I give up. Next time we... I can't do it.
Do the old mother
Next
part.
time we will crush you. I give up. Stop. I told you. I'll crush you, Cena. Damn your old mother, Cena. I will crush you. That's enough. I told you. Damn your old mother, Cena. Damn your old mother, Cena. Someone needs to make that into a meme, into an image. Damn your old mother, Cena. That's awesome. Right. All right. So Naomi and Tamina Snuka defeated the Bella Twins. It was funny. The feed to the network started cutting out horribly at this point, so I think it knew that I had to go to the bathroom.
That's not nice.
It's not anything against women's wrestling. It's against how WWE implements it. It's against how they showcase it. NXT women's wrestling is amazing. WWE women's wrestling is terrible.
100% true.
Yeah, this match was okay though. It was all right.
Decent.
Wasn't the worst. But yeah, like always, it could have been much better. There's so much potential, especially when a lot of the divas now came from NXT at some point. But I think it's more WWE to blame rather than them. I think they're constrained as to what their style.
Yeah,
They're very they're held back. I think, or limited.
Neville and Barrett was pretty much just a filler for like 20 minutes. Not even.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. All these matches were just all right.
Wasn't it with this match or the Raw match where there was like a massive botch?
I don't know.
Neville went to the top rope and then he like fell down like a second later.
I don't know.
I want to see it's Raw.
I must have missed that.
Must have been Raw then. Brian, do you know?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was Payback, but I could be wrong.
One of the two.
Oh well, it'll be on Botchamania later.
Yep. Just like Paperback.
The only decent spot of the whole night was the 10-second reunion of the Shield during the main event.
Yep.
So in that one, Seth Rollins defeated Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which I figured they need to keep the belt on him at least a little bit longer.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't have them lose it this early.
Here's what I think should happen. Money in the Bank, I think they need to keep the belt on him until then, and then whoever wins Money in the Bank this year should cash in that night.
That'd be cool.
Bad idea.
Why is it a bad idea?
It is a bad idea. Why would you have, especially when you have one championship, why would you cash it in on the same exact night? Look how long they waited for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but that's exactly why they should do it on the same night. Nobody would be expecting it.
Yeah.
Now people would, because you brought up the idea.
Yeah. You just ruined it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right.
that was Payback.
Payback, overall, it was acceptable. That's the best word I can come up with for it.
It was average. I give it a C.
Half decent.
Fucking terrible.
We've seen terrible.
Yeah.
especially in the last year.
WWE Payback. You've seen worse.
Yep.
So, all right, let's jump into Raw then. So Raw started out with Stephanie and Triple H coming out. Stephanie saying that we all missed her, and kind of did. And she announced the Elimination Chamber match for the Intercontinental Championship. Yet another cluster. You know, I'm going to start calling it the Interclusterfuck Championship. Because every single match that they have for the belt is a clusterfuck of people just randomly jumbled into a gimmick match. Ladders, elimination chamber. Ugh, enough. I don't know. That's just me though.
It is kind of true.
Yeah. The
last like 5 Intercontinental matches were just a big cluster.
Might as well call it a Battle Royal Championship, you know? Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea, having a Battle Royal Championship.
Wouldn't be a bad idea at all.
It would probably be a really bad idea. I have no idea. Probably would be terrible. But then Sheamus interrupts, followed by Ryback, which set up the match that happened after that, where Sheamus defeats Ryback. And then won on that match. We get another match that I kind of,
Boring.
Yeah. Although the crowd chanting, "You look stupid," never gets old.
Didn't this match go like 2 commercials or something like that too?
I know it went 1, and I thought it was going to go another commercial because you know how Michael Cole kind of, like, by the way that he says certain things, you can tell that they're going to go into a commercial. I thought they were going to go into a second one because he's like, oh yeah, these 2 guys are battling right here outside the ring. And I was like, another commercial? But he kept going, so I was like, all right. But yeah, no, I think it was only 1 commercial, but it was just ridiculous. It's not a match that deserves to be cut by a commercial. Because in order to cut a match with a commercial, you have to get people. It has to be a match that people are so interested in that they're willing to sit through the commercials to watch the rest of the match. I don't think a lot of people were.
Yep.
I think they wasted their commercial break.
And then after that, we had a Bo Dallas return to Raw.
Bo is awesome. I love Bo.
I don't like how he got rid of his bow tee though.
His bow tee. Awesome.
That's what it is, right?
That is what it is.
Yeah. See, put Bo in front of everything. It's better.
It was ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, Bo Dallas interrupted an interview that Renee Young was doing with Neville, and then Bo Dallas ended up doing commentary during the Neville King Barrett match, which King Barrett won.
I want to say the botcher's in this one.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't know. I must have missed it. I did have to use the bathroom at some point during Raw, so I think I missed this. And yeah, I missed like the last half of the Sheamus Ryback match and the first half of this match. So yeah, it probably happened during this one.
Probably.
So afterwards, Rusev comes out alone, and Lana comes out. Oh yeah, so Rusev claimed that he never said I quit, that Lana doesn't speak for him. And then Lana came out and revealed that she not only cares for Rusev, but that Rusev was actually saying I quit in Bulgarian, which turns out that he actually did. But also that Rusev is misunderstood and not the man that he seems to be, which I was hoping they'd go somewhere with that, but I don't know what that meant. If maybe he's like a kind soul, but he chooses not to let us see it. But that didn't actually go anywhere. I don't know. And then Rusev screamed stuff at Lana in Bulgarian as she walked away. Even at this point, I knew that they were going to do the Lana split, and that she was going to do something later on that night to kind of move on her own. I knew that something was going to happen later that night. So yeah, the Rusev Lana split is official. She was quote unquote fired, even though I don't know she was working for him or they were together or what. They never really specified on screen, I don't think. I know in NXT there was I guess there was a mutual admiration or something, and she worked for him. I don't know. I didn't watch NXT back then, so I don't really know.
And then we have an amazing Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose match.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty good. I like Dean Ambrose in almost anything he does. He could do better in promos if they gave him more freedom rather than script everything that they say. I think he would do well if they just let him loose. But yeah, that match was pretty good.
And then we have a screwy finish for the next match, which I don't want to talk about.
Cesaro and Kidd defeated the New Day by disqualification. And then another clusterfuck when the other 4 teams from the upcoming Elimination Chamber Tag Team title match came out. The Primetime Players, the Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, and Los Matadores. Dora. How the hell is that going to work, by the way, an Elimination Chamber Tag Team title match? Are they going to stuff 2 people in each booth?
Yep.
Yeah, the teams are going to be in one individual pod.
Oof, that's going to be uncomfortable.
How can you put all New Day in one?
Yeah.
Biggie's too big.
Yeah, but Kofi is small, so it evens out.
Good point. Then we have the mark-out moment of the night.
Yeah, John Cena once again with his open challenge for the United States Championship, and then Kevin Owens comes out. But the match never happened, basically because Owens said that he already had a belt, the NXT Championship, and then he took out Cena, just powerbombed him, took the US belt, threw it down, and stomped on it. He stomped on a flag on a belt. That's just wrong. Flag stomping right there. Terrible. Terrible, Owens. Terrible.
Every time Cena has one of these open challenges, I always think it's going to be Heath Slater. And one day Slater's going to walk out and he's going to win that belt and prove everybody wrong.
You know, the championship is open to everybody except Heath Slater, apparently.
I guess so. Which sucks. Slater deserves a purse, damn it.
He stolen last time. Slater. I would love it if Slater came out, but I mean, he would never beat Cena, no matter how much we want him. No matter how much we want him to.
Yes, he would.
WWE would not book that.
Yes, they would.
It hasn't happened yet.
It don't matter. It still happened.
They are too determined to keep him a joke heel.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what? It's kind of like Bo Dallas. Nothing's been happening with him. He'll come out and somebody, destroys him, and that's it. Haha, beat up Bo Dallas this week,
Don't be talking about Bo.
No, I'm not. He deserves better. He does deserve better.
Then he needs to go to TNA then.
Nah, he's not gonna get anything there. Maybe he needs to try GFW.
No.
It could work.
Nope.
Why not?
It won't work. Global Flop won't work.
Give him a whole new gimmick.
No. Keep him as Bo.
If he ever went to TNA, he'd be called something like Bo Austin or something.
There you go. That's better.
Bo Houston, everybody.
Much better.
Couldn't even use Bo because that's too tied to WWE merchandising, Believe and all that stuff.
Bo B. There you go. Bo B Houston. There you go.
You would call it Arrow Houston.
No.
Bo and Arrow. Alright, yeah. Anyway, the next match, Dolph Ziggler defeated Stardust. Yay. The match was okay, but after the match, that's when Michael Cole interviewed him. Ziggler talks about Cody Rhodes being disfigured, scars, the Elimination Chamber Interclusterfuck Championship match. And then Lana comes to the ring, exchanges some looks with Ziggler, gives him the old flirty eyes, and then kisses him. And the fans chant one more time, kisses him again. So, yay. And then Rusev came down. Well, Lana slapped Rusev, which was the nail in the coffin. So they're officially split up, and she left with Ziggler. After Ziggler gave him the, whatever his finisher is. Anyway, and if anybody's wondering, Eddie's dead again. We killed him.
Quit dying, Eddie.
It's alright. This won't be the first time that Eddie dies. I have a feeling.
Hey, Eddie, you have to believe.
Oh,
I heard that.
he's back.
Yeah, I've been back. Where have you been?
Talking to myself, apparently.
Probably, yeah, because Brian doesn't even talk.
I was typing up notes,
Don't matter.
and I didn't know you were gone. I thought you were still there.
We done with the Raw review, or?
We got 4 more parts, and then well, we got starting from Harper and Rowan, and then when we finish that up, which let's just kind of breeze through the rest of it.
Here's my review of the last half of Raw. Zack Ryder, LOL. Divas main event Raw, whoopity-doo-hoo, and that's it. There you go. IGN, 10 out of 10. But this afternoon I was watching a bunch of the Long Island Ice East and stuff, and it's like real sad on how Zack Ryder is in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, I liked when he was getting his push, but I don't know. I think everybody pretty much knew that not a lot was gonna ever really happen for him, unfortunately.
Hey, I'm just glad that Zack Ryder got some screen time for once.
Yeah.
On Raw.
Yeah, on Raw, not
Superstars or main event.
Right.
But why team him with Fandango? Why not team him with Heath Slater?
That would make sense, at least. Kind of. I don't know.
Was that hate towards Heath Slater?
No.
You couldn't tell if you were being sarcastic or not.
that was support. That was support for both Zack Ryder and Heath Slater.
Heath Slater does not deserve to be in the ring with a jobber named Zack Ryder. Slater is like a legend.
All right, who's the bigger legend, Heath Slater or Dewey Barnes?
No, I can't answer.
You're gonna make Eddie's
Both
picks.
equal. They're both equal.
What if we throw EC3 and Spud into the mix?
No.
Now Eddie's head really is gonna explode.
It's probably going to, and I'm gonna die then.
Eddie's gonna die again. We can't have that.
Stop dying, Eddie.
Sorry, sheesh.
Alright, so Nikki Bella defeated Naomi by disqualification, retaining the Divas Championship, and Paige made her return and the save. So this spot had actually been practiced at previous house shows leading up to that night, which was interesting because I read that before Raw, and I watched Raw, and I kind of knew that she was going to come out. So watching her come out was kind of interesting. And then, so confirmed for Elimination Chamber, the main event, or one of the matches, is Kevin Owens versus John Cena. Probably for the U.S. belt, I would imagine. I don't see why not. Which is interesting, because that wasn't... I mean, Kevin Owens isn't on the WWE roster. That, like, he didn't... Like, if he wins the U.S. belt, what happens to the NXT belt? Does he still keep it? Does he have to fight on both WWE and NXT television?
You remember there was TakeOver Unstoppable this past Wednesday.
Alright. And that was Raw, which was alright. Again.
Decent. The only thing we're going to remember is Kevin Owens.
Definitely. All right, so on the line with us right now, he has been on by many different names throughout WWE and WCW. He's been known as Tugboat, Typhoon, and the Shockmaster. We have Fred Ottman on the line with us. How are you, Fred?
I'm doing excellent. How are you guys doing this evening?
Excellent, great.
Doing good.
Doing great.
So, Fred, how is everything with you? How have things been lately?
Well, I've just been healing up my knee from where I ripped it tore everything from my upper thigh in December of last year. And I'm back in the gym now, and I'm rehabbing my leg and training the rest of me, and getting ready to go in June to a WrestleCon over in England.
Awesome.
I'm real excited about that. Possibly shooting a little footage on the independent film that I was invited on. Me, I think Ron Bass is there. I don't know who else is on it. Like a horror flick. It's going to be shot up in Pennsylvania, so I'm excited about that. If everything goes, good, that's happening. And I got in June down here. They're doing in Florida. They're doing a big fundraiser. Jody Simon is. That's the great Malenko's son, Dean Malenko's brother.
Awesome.
And all kinds of legends. They're posting it on my Facebook and a lot of other guys' Facebook. I mean, there's going to be a ton of guys there. Old school, the Punks are going to be there. It's who's who of old school, because they're going to do part of a new recreation center that they're building in Tampa. They're going to do. It was at the former site of the National Guard Armory that was legendary for the amount of talent that came through here when it was championship wrestling from Florida back in the day, and they're all coming out of the woodwork. Some talent from WWE that's current with the roster. Old school is. It's going to be a who's who. $60 a plate deal and $38 for children, and it's going to be like a meet and greet, silent auction, and the whole gambit of stuff. Like I said, the stars just keep coming that are coming out here to support this thing. They're going to end the recreation center. They're going to do a commemorative wall to all the guys from the past. It should be really cool. That happens June 11th.
Awesome. Where is that?
That's going to be in Tampa, Florida.
All right.
Yeah, they can. On Facebook, you can pull up under Jody Simon, who's the one that's actually producing it, putting it together and everything like that. But it's going to be a really a hell of a deal. Every day there's new guys from the past that are being added that are going to be there.
Awesome.
So it'll be great. And Briscoe's going to be there, like I said, the Funk, both, Terry and Dory. A ton of guys. Dean Malenko will be there, of course. Just a ton of other guys. Like I said, there's 3 or 4 guys I know of so far that are off the current roster that are going to be there for this event too. So it's going to be really, really good.
That sounds really awesome. It definitely sounds worth it too. So we just want to now I'm sure you've heard this question and probably answered it a million times, but we still want to ask it. What is your side of the story regarding the now infamous Shockmaster debut in WCW?
What's my side of the story? It's just the same as it came out. You've seen the panel discussion. They just did the the end of last year or the beginning of this year. They did the 20th anniversary. It was the end of somewhere at the end of last year. They did the 20th anniversary of the event. It's pretty basically, they have the panel, where Dusty and them talk about it. And it's one of those deals. I had the mask on. The mask had small holes in it. It was covered with glitter. Glitter was coming through the holes. Janie Ingalls, who was the office secretary, she was, they took off a pair of her pantyhose and glued them over the eye holes so they can keep the glitter from coming in my eyes. The mask was given to me to keep the anonymity of me, the person, who was going to be the mystery partner. And I was put behind the wall for Flair for the Gold, and the wall was built like a regular wall would be in your house with 2x4 wood studs every 12 to 14 inches. The wall was about 10 foot tall, so they had added a cross brace down about the level of just below my knee at the bottom. My grandma, I put the mask on. My grandma's going to give me the cue when I was supposed to go out because it was live TV. And when I got the cue, before that happened, he told me, he says, Fred, you're going to have to hit this wall hard because, I mean, it's just like I said, it was 5/8 sheetrock. It was finished off just like a wall would be in your house. So I had to I wound up breaking like 5 2x4s at the top. I double axe handled the wall, and the momentum. Didn't think there was a wood right below me there. Should have kicked the bottom out first, But out here I am. It's like somebody put a poke over a bag over your head and says, "Okay," and points you in the right direction. Go. Up there. So I had to bust the wall, go through the wall, and because they couldn't mic the mask, Ole did the. Ole Anderson did the voiceover as far as with the dialogue for the whole deal. But I came through. I was like a teeter-totter. The bottom didn't break out. I flipped over because I hit it so hard and fell on my face, not my arse, like Davey Boy says. And I took it. It popped off my head like a champagne cork. I turned my head and reached for it to pull it back on my head, because it was a live shoot, and jumped up and finished the deal. It was probably a case of beer recovery kind of night.
Yeah.
And but after that it was okay because I was so upset about what had happened. But it was live TV and it was done. It was bad that night, but I've made light of it over the years. And plus, like I said, one of the most watched goofs in history of the wrestling history. Hell of a way to make a mark, I guess. But I've had fun with it and that. I still like it, if I do autograph deals and stuff like that. I still have the mask.
Oh, wow.
I take it to me to different signings and stuff like that. So, and there's people that want to wear it. It's like the holy grail of professional wrestling. They see it and they're like, oh my God. Even when I've done a few Comic Cons and that stuff, and those people go apeshit, when they see it, oh my God, because it's pretty cool looking, But I have fun with it, and joke about. I was even going to take and start shooting videos like Where's Waldo, and I'll be Where's the Shockmaster, doing different goofy stuff, because I'm a goof. So I have fun with it, and it was bad when it happened because you especially when you give your all for the business and you want everything you do to be the best. And I've always been the kind of beat up on himself if things didn't go the way they were supposed to. I've from the beginning of being in this business, I've had the older guys come up, and something didn't go. I would be upset about something. They'd read into it. No, don't worry. Never let them see you. The audience doesn't know, what I watch wrestling now, and I see a lot of stuff that don't go the way it's supposed to, and I remember those memories. I remember what the veterans used to tell me, when I was working and being a green young guy in the business. So, like I said, one of those deals, but it's a helmet that I wear on my shoulder proudly.
Awesome. Watching that live, you could hear some of the wrestlers like Booker T and Ric Flair reacting. Could you hear them at the time?
Watch you read people's lips. I always tell people, watch the video and read their lips, and you'll get even more humor out of it. From what's being said. Sid was there. It was a who's who of all the main talent because it was going into the big cage match, the big pay-per-view was coming up in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the mystery part.
Right.
So, yeah, you got to watch the whole video and look at the expressions and try to read the list, and you'll even get more humor out of it. Everybody makes mistakes. look, I tell people, nowadays, you go to the movies, some movies can be complete crap, okay? But not almost every movie has the outtakes at the end, where the flubs and the bloopers and all that stuff happens. And a lot of times, that's more entertaining than the movie you just watched.
Yeah, that's true. Who actually designed the helmet? Actually, the whole outfit for the Shockmaster.
But the powers that be, I got there and they go, here, you're going to wear this when you go outside. Of course, it was a stormtrooper mask, and it was, Hollywood eyes, or Russell eyes, for the event. The vest that I wore belonged to one of the awesome cons, to be honest with you. They gave me that, and because I was in a pair of blue jeans, rattlesnake cowboy boots, and I went out there, no shirt on, and wearing this gimmick, and the rest is history. And really, the Shockmaster gimmick was going to be like a superhero type outfit. I mean, I wore. You'll see video footage where it says Super Shockmaster, and that was actually the costume that was going to be used when I worked. It was a superhero type kind of outfit. I had actually a mask, and really that night I should have had that mask on. If that thing would have popped off, it would have made no difference anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's where the outfit came from.
Excellent. A lot of people know you best, WWF fans, from being a member of the Natural Disasters with Earthquake, John Tenta. And
Exactly, yeah.
Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. It's coming up on 9 years, I believe. And I was just curious, what's your favorite memory of John Tenta?
Our whole life together. I mean, as far as being professional wrestlers, I mean, he was a great guy. He was actually, he was more like my brother. I always tell people he's my brother from another mother because we were so similar in so many ways. Attitude, our convictions, and our, just our personalities. You know what I'm saying? And, part of being, he was cool. It wasn't about, like a lot of times on the road, it's about guys going out afterwards and getting drunk or going out and who's going to get in trouble tonight or that. I mean, we both had the same mindset, wherever we went, tried to enjoy what was there and each other's company. I mean, even when we went home, when he got his citizenship for here from Canada, he had dual citizenship. He moved over to Orlando. I mean, me and John and I and our families had gone to the Disney before and that. Hey, we rode the Dumbo ride, man, and the teacup. All right, well, the people are looking at us like, here's these two 400-pound plus guys with mouse ears on and the whole, and just having a good time. I mean, that's how it was. My memories, I mean, we've been to Stephen King's house and gotten autographs in the middle of the winter when it was like 30 below zero, when we wrestled in his town up in, New England. And we, all different, when we travel, I've worked in about 40-something different countries. I've worked all 50 states and every little town in between, so, there's a lot of memories there. I mean, I really miss, I miss him a lot, I know he's main eventing up in heaven, man, with a lot of other stars that have gone. But he was a great dad, a great human being, a talented wrestler, a tremendous athlete. I mean, he was undefeated when he wrestled in Japan and in the pro wrestling business in Japan with Shoei Baba, Giant Baba. And, I had the opportunity to work against him and to work with him. I mean, he was a great friend. We could talk to each other about our problems. We could take and, enjoy doing different things and seeing different things. And, it was just great. It makes it a lot easier on the road. I mean, you figure my 18-plus years that I wrestled on the road, we wrestled minimal 300 days a year, sometimes more. And a lot of double shots and stuff like that. So we were on the road together more than we were home with our families, and it's just to have somebody that likes you and enjoys the same things, and that it just made life so much better and simpler, and and we had fun doing what we did, so it was awesome.
Now, here's my question. What is your favorite memory working for WWE and or WCW in general?
What, WWE and WWC in general?
Yeah, what's your favorite memory of all time?
God, I couldn't think of it. It's like, I get questions where, well, who was your favorite guy to wrestle, or your toughest opponent and stuff like that. I wrestled, I wrestled a lot of guys, a lot of famous guys. My favorite memory is when I got brought into the WWF, brought in to do a dark match at Niagara Falls after they had shown interest in me when I came back from working in Austria with Otto Vaughn. I came there, and walking in there and seeing the talent that was there, I was nervous as hell, man. Vince had the who's who of every territory. I had the opportunity in this business to wrestle when there were still some territories, it was at the end of that heyday, and to go up there, and, Vince had, all of the champions from every territory in the world worked for him, and it was just, incredible. And, I came in there, it was just awesome, I had in WCW, it was just great being down there and being with, like I said, the same array of talent and being able to work with all of them. And I worked with a lot of great guys. When I came in, I worked up there 6 or 8 months. I'd wrestled before coming there as the Big Steel Man. If you look in the encyclopedia, the WWE encyclopedia, both editions, I'm in the front of there. They have it in as Big Man Steel, but it's Big Steel Man. And I came in there, worked 6 or 8 months till we came up with the Tugboat gimmick, and I worked with that. And then here I am, this new guy up here in the territory, and I get put with Hulk Hogan, like his cheerleader, when he got Quake put him out and hurt him, and when some other things happened in that, and I was there, and Hulk Hogan, the man, just the who's who in wrestling, as far as notoriety goes, and here I am working with him, and being there with him, and he was such a nice guy. He had like the golden touch. You work with that guy, and it's like automatically you're over. Being in the same room or being in the same ring as that gentleman. So there's a ton. Every single thing there. I have candid photos that I took when we were on the road when we with WWF when we went to Japan. The Tokyo Dome was my first time overseas there. When I went with Quake, and I got funny stuff and funny pictures, all of us touring all through Japan and everything. All those memories, man. Even when I'm senile and I lose my mind, and I only got one brain cell left anyway. But it's all things that I can sit back and laugh about and think about, different stuff. I've seen stuff that, like, people go, man, you should write a book. You should write a book. I'm like, man, the stuff that I've seen and that I know about, I couldn't put into a book. It would not be nice for some people's family, But that's the candid, really true behind the curtain. I was talking with Brian Blair about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I'm like, it's one of those things. Behind the curtain and under the mat should be the name of the book, because there's some real wild stuff, man. I've seen it, not just the ribs, but just the true to life adventures, being on the road, the stuff that has happened to people. But everything, and all those companies, the business altogether. Luke of the Bushwhackers, we were up in Canada, me, him, and Funky Tonk Man, and a couple other guys. We were talking. We did a Comic-Con up there, and we went to out to a bar restaurant afterwards, and we were talking. And man, if we had to do it all over again, Mean Gene was up there, everything, I'd do it completely over. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'd do it completely over again because I just love the business, man. Every day you lace your boots up is a new memory and a new adventure in this business.
And so in 2001, you returned for one night as Typhoon during the WrestleMania X7 Gimmick Battle Royal. What was that like? How did that feel? I'm sorry, you were Tugboat, not Typhoon.
I was Tugboat.
Right, that's right.
It was fun. It was fast. It was fast, but it was fun. I mean, I threw the gobbledygoober out, and behind me, Quick grabbed a hold of me, and I was going out. You know what I'm saying? So it was fat, but it was fun. It was really, really nice, man. It was nice seeing the guys that were working there. It was nice being there, being a part of the thing. It's awesome. I mean, I'm proud. I'm still part of the business because my son works for WWE and NXT still. Now he's in there, and he works behind the scenes. But I'm very proud of him, man. He's enjoying it. He's always loved the business. My ex-wife, she's always hated the business, but it's like my punishment to her. Now she's he took her to me in California this year when he worked there. So and he was very excited, and I'm happy for him. I mean, I'm glad that he's getting to be a part of something and learning. Every day he's working, he's learning more and more and more. He went to wrestling school. He worked 2 years for FCW before he went to NXT with Steve Kern, setting up the ring and all that stuff while he was in high school. When he turned 18, he went through wrestling school because he wanted to be a referee is what he wanted to do. And he's a tremendous referee. Tremendous. He's tall, thin, and good looking. Like he looks like his mother, so God bless him. He'll look like me. But he's a great kid, very, loves the thing, very, and he gives 180% as far as what he does is there. He helps put everything together, and he's there ringside at all the shows. You'll see him he's got that timekeeper position on the live event, and, right there in the corner, he's constantly getting guys thrown on top of him, and you'll see him either be holding the belt or whatever. That's my son. He'll have the headphones on right next to the announcer's table.
That's awesome.
Before your son Berkeley started working for WWE, did you give him any advice going in?
Well, he told me he wanted to referee, I told him all the bad stuff. I sat down, actually. I took him, I talked with Steve Kern. I said, before he showed an interest in this, and we talked about, about making sure he got his good grades and all that stuff, and, finishing up his school and that and continuing. I said, but I told him, I said, my main thing, I said, learn production. Production is the key, and the WWE has the finest production crews that there are. They make movies now. They're part of filming movies and all that. You see many movies coming out with their logos stamped on it, and it's not just because of their talent, but they're actually, in that business. And I said, learn. You can't. That education there is priceless. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what like I said, before he turned 18, he set rings up, tore them down there. He took and did everything old school, learned the business old school. And then he went through wrestling school. Mike Graham trained him, and probably one of the finest wrestlers that I've ever known in my life. And he had, all the rest of the guys that were there, plus the referees that were there that were working with him, that were on the half of them were on the current roster for WWE. You know what I'm saying? So I was really happy about that. They took him under his wing and they educated him. But my biggest thing to him was, I'm saying, I understand what you want to do, but this is what you need to do, because no matter what happens ever to that business, the things that you learn there on your resume that you can take to Hollywood, to stuff that's going on to the internet, to the, to the whole 9 yards. I said, That's what you need to take with you. And that's what you need to learn. And it got him eventually up where he's at, and I was very proud of him when he got to be up there. And I was glad that he got in the positions that he is. I mean, he helped works with his whole crew of guys there, and they help, and guys that were there when I worked there. That I seen out was at a SmackDown over in Orlando. Stopped by over there and wanted to spend time with my son and see the guys, and we and there was a lot of guys that were all there. Even a couple of the referees. So I was happy as far as that goes. I think that's for him to be around the business. Like I said, this business is a hard business. There's a million gazillion guys that want to do it. I mean, you've seen all those interviews that are coming in. We have student housing down here in St. Petersburg where I'm at. My wife manages probably 156 different rooms down here, and about a third of them are student housing. We have students from all over the world. We have the network, $9.99. We have it, baby. And they watch the pay-per-views. They watch the other stuff. I mean, the students come here that they knew who I was, and they knew who their parents had watched in other countries. We have French students. We have students from South America. We have them from all over the world that are studying here, and they're staying with us. Every 90 days we get new students from France. 15 to 20. So I mean, it's kind of a neat deal. And so they watch all the pay-per-views. We have fun with it and everything like that. And so it's great. It's a great deal.
Now, speaking of NXT, if you currently watch it, who's your current favorite?
Well, the new guy, what do you call it? The man that defies gravity that came up, moved up. He's Neville. Like Neville.
Yeah.
Guys that I've enjoyed watching come up. I mean, he's still real green. I mean, he needs more facial expressions and stuff like that. But I love his style. I like the fact that they're immersing more different types of wrestling, and hopefully, they can, other than the writing, I don't care that much for. You know what I'm saying? But the current show, but I mean, I like the NXT product better than the WWE product right now, to be honest with you, because the guys are hungry and wanting and are kind of, they're not as scrutinized as under the writers are at WWE. So they're, you're able to see a lot more, I think, raw talent.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I think the NXT show is a show. I think it would behoove them to actually do an all-girls, an all-diva show. Not them from the current roster with WWE, but, a different product, mind you, okay? But that's just my opinion. My feeling about opinions, guys, is it's like buttholes. Some of them, that's just my opinion,
Right.
I'm really looking forward to the new Tough Enough series. I hope it's a good series.
Yeah, we are too.
I think it's a good thing. I think there'd be a lot of funny haha. I think they should do a variety. You know what I'm saying? That way, I mean, because there's been some very humorous interviews that I've watched in that. I mean, I'm not I don't just sit home watching wrestling as an next part. You know what I'm saying? I'm into a lot of stuff. But I do enjoy the business. I mean, like I said, it's not, I just I went with Brian Blair to do a cancer fundraiser down in Venice, Florida about 2 weeks ago. And I like going to independent shows, to be honest with you. Also, I have guys who will tell me, hey, Fred, can you come out, and I got no problem with that. We'll go out and have fun for the evening. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to start somewhere. But there's a lot of guys that have been working independent, 10, 12, 15 years, that never had a break. There's some really good workers, A lot of those NXT guys are coming from the independents, And, I don't know what you guys think. But, some of the stuff is horrible, yes. But then there's a lot of stuff that's really, really good, It's good to see how creative people can be. If people really were creative, like I feel up north, I've seen a lot more guys up there that are doing a lot better as far as promoting than here in the South,
Yeah, we had Kevin Owens, who made his first time appearance on WWE Raw. And like he said, he's been wrestling actually longer than John Cena. He just wasn't given a break, on the mainstream until now.
There's a lot of good guys out there that have worked through the years. Ricky Morton's got a school. There's a friend of mine that when I broke into business in San Antonio, Rudy Gonzalez. Rudy, he's a hell of a worker. He was back in the day, and he trains a bunch of guys. There's guys like all over. There's guys that don't work anymore that are working with guys, and and there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of second, third generation talent coming up too. Look at Flair's daughter. There's a lot of different people out there that are coming up. So it's kind of cool seeing that happening.
Now, what's your opinion on TNA?
TNA?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? When they went to the building in New York, the old building that we used to run for Raw, okay, and they were doing hardcore, okay, stuff, got kind of excited because I thought the show was kind of sucky. And, but because the lady that's in charge, she tries to emulate a lot of stuff that, WWE is, you know what I'm saying? Kind of same kind of, I don't know. It's like putting a different name on a certain angle or something like that, but doing, like she's tried to portray herself like in a Stephanie McMahon type,
right?
Ringmaster deal there, and what I'm saying, too many similarities. When they went and they started doing a little bit of hardcore, I was really surprised, first of all, because New York's always been really, they had the Boxing and Wrestling Commission and that stuff, so they've always been, really on top of that stuff. I remember ECW getting hard times when they came in there to start doing shows, you know what I'm saying? But getting their chops busted by the commission. But when I seen them do that and the people responded to it, I'm like, man, this is good. It should just go that way. But the thing with them too, now they're losing talent and they've got issues going on, and a lot of guys have been there for a long, long time. Just like, I'm sure the same thing as with WWE is a lot of guys have been there for a long time. And that's why it's nice that there's new, fresh talent coming in that, So, I don't know. I think that there needs to be more places. What do you guys feel about this new global thing? Do you think it's going to be any good, or what do you think on that?
I'm hoping it does well. They have a good roster.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. I didn't see the promo that he cut. About the deal that he did from Vegas. I haven't seen that. I forget and I get involved with other things and stuff like that. But I figured I would pull it up online and watch what was said. I haven't seen the roster. I don't, any very much about it at all. Other than that it's hopefully finally coming. I know that, and the first show isn't it a pay-per-view or something like that? That they're doing.
I think they're doing like a tour of baseball fields, I think, at first. And they're going to start doing TV tapings in July.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot about them, but I hope that they do well, so that because I feel that WWE needs some competition, if not to have more wrestling, at least to make WWE better, you know.
It's always good. The best years when there was, you know, WCW, you know, WWF, you know what I'm saying, when there was competition and there was battling going on and people crisscrossing back and forth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting. You need something to compare to.
Yeah.
You know, you really and truthfully, you know, I love the sport. I love to watch Lucha Libre. I'll pull up, you know, Mundo or one of the other channels, and I'll watch, you know, Lucha Underground. I love that stuff. I pulled up some channel. It must be, I don't know where, it's called Hollywood Wrestling. Have you guys ever seen that?
I haven't, no.
Nope.
It's like an independent show. I was up in Tennessee at 4 in the morning or something, and it was on some obscure channel. And I just come back from being out with the family and that stuff, back to the hotel, and I'm flipping it on, getting ready for bed with my wife, and it was just horrible. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. But it was called Hollywood Wrestling, from Hollywood, California, evidently. But it was like a studio show. And but I mean, I think that I love, you know, that's one of the main things that was missing, I think, is kind of missing. What's cool about the network is to bring back some of like the old animated cartoon and some of the other stuff. They're trying different things here and there to make it more appealing. You know what I'm saying? I've been to many signings where I have these kids come up, you know, because kids, you know, come up and, you know, their parents were kids when they watched me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these networks are giving them I talked to a young man up north that had a backpack on his back, and he was pumped. I mean, as far as wrestling goes, he had all these action figures in his backpack, and that he's probably about 9 or 10 years old, and he's there with his parents and his little sister, and you know. And I'm talking to the parents, and I'm like, you got a kid that's so into wrestling, you know. $9.99 is nothing, you know, for like a reward. What a thing that would get a kid to study harder. I'll buy you this network where you can watch all the wrestling that you want, you know, keep up your good grades in school and this and that. It would be an incentive thing, like your mom used to want to buy you a toy or some bullshit to make you, what do you call it, you know, as a reward, you know what I'm saying? All you made report card or whatever. But this network, it lets them see stuff in the past. It lets them see new stuff. It's like a endless, you know, file cabinet of stuff that a dad could sit down with his kid or his kid and watch the thing and everything. Oh, you know, I used to watch this when I was your age and blah 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 blah, blah, you know, all this, and explain to see the characters and stuff like that. And I think it's just a great experience.
It is. I was one of the first people to join up, and I've been a member since. There's always something to watch, and they keep adding new stuff, and new and old, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I see people online that bitch and they moan about this or that. Like they're writing the show, like, this is stupid, or this is horrible, or blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Take it, run with it, and, you know what I'm saying, and see where it goes. That's the best thing you can do. Because I'm going to give up my network. How many of those have you read or have you seen? You know, I said, you know, well, do it, you know. Yeah. Their stock continues to climb. Their show gets more and more and more, you know, people logging in. You know, it's like giving a crack addict a little bit. You know, they're doing all free for this month, you know what I'm saying? And to get that guy hooked on that drug, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when you think about it, if you're into wrestling, man, it's the best deal in town, man. You know, it's the best deal in town.
It is. So I think we have time for one more question. Of all the gimmicks, of all the characters that you portrayed, which one would you have to say is your favorite?
Bro, there you go. I like them all. I mean, I've wrestled like I said, to do everything over again. I loved them all, man. I loved them all. You know, I was wrestling as Tugboat, and I was really over as Tugboat, and they came to me because Quake had finished his run with Hulk, and, you know, they're like, man, you want to... I had seen I got a blueprint of the doll that Hasbro was going to make of Tugboat. Okay? The actual prototype sold on some guy that worked for Hasbro sold the larger figure, I think, and it went for $14,000 or $15,000 online. Okay? You there with me? Jeez. Anyway, and then they came along, you know, wanting to put me with Quake, and I'm like, man, I like this, you know, I love Tugboat, I love it, you know, the kids, you know, because I'm a big kid anyway. When they gave me that gimmick, I was like, man, let me get to be a cross between Popeye and Bluto. Oh, I'm there, brother. Okay. But they go, man, we would like to put together with Quake. What do you think? I'm like, you know, and I love the guy behind the scenes. You know, we, you know, working. I mean, you know, it's entertainment, guys. It's entertainment, all right. But you know, and he's just such a great guy. And I'm like, yeah, it was like a no-brainer. Man, they're putting me and him together. We will kill everybody. You know. You know, I'm like, oh, my God. But when you ask me that, even the Shockmaster, they go, there's some people when I do interviews like this, they're like walking on eggshells. I don't want to talk, you know, about it, you know. Bro, it's part of my, you know, part of what I did. You know, maybe not the best moment that night when it happened, but you know what, like everything else, you know, they were more fumbly-footed than what I was with the character. After that happened, you know, what do we do? You know, it wound up being eventually Uncle Fred, you know, the stumbling, bumbling, you know, the person that I am. Okay, you know, I mean, brother, this is me. I love building. I build hot rods. I'm into old cars. I'm into old car memorabilia. I love comic books. I paint. I draw fantasy art. Some wrestling. I've been playing around with some wrestling stuff. You know, I've got a ton of. You know, I've got LJNs. I've got, you know, all the old school stuff. Even I've got, you know, merchandise that I've picked up over the years that I'm involved with, video games that I'm involved with, and you know, all that stuff. I'm a big kid, man. I watch cartoons still, okay? I'll be 59 on my birthday, brother. I go to the gym every day, and I'm healing up. I love being in the gym, keeps me easy going and that, but I am what I am. When you talk to me like we're talking here, that's how I am in life. I mean, I'm just, you know, I have a good time. I'm, you know, and I'm a big kid, and I'll be a big kid till they plant me, and then they're gonna torch me, brother. Like the old Willie Nelson song, "Roll me up and smoke me when I die."
I mean, yeah. I mean, you seem like a really great guy. You know, you're really easy to talk to. So it's been really good having you on.
You know, I appreciate it. You know, but I mean, that's just how I am, man. I mean, you know that. You know, I worked in a business of egos. Okay.
Yeah.
It you know, it's entertainment. Anytime, whether it be music, whether it be movies, TV, you know, or any sports entertainment, all sports entertainment. For that part, you know what I'm saying? Baseball, football, and it, you know what I'm saying? But it's egos, you know, and some people have bad egos. You know, it's like my mom says, she's telling me all the time, if you could buy them for what they're worth and sell them for what they thought they're worth, you'd be a millionaire. You know, and you get a lot of them, you know? Yeah.
Well, thank you again for being on. Is there anything else that you want to plug or anything that you want to mention real quick?
No, just like I said, I'm going, because I got injured, I haven't been doing that much this year. You know, I've just been healing, you know, getting where I can walk off of crutches and I'm walking.
Okay.
Because I severed everything from my lower leg on my right leg. And, but I'm doing the WrestleCon, the 21st and 22nd in London, England. There'll be a lot of guys there. It's probably one of the biggest shows there in Europe. I was honored when they asked me to come over. Like I said, the 11th of June, you can pull up my Facebook, Fred Ottman, on my Facebook, and he's posting all the time, and I'll hit a reshare button there. But I mean, I'm sure other guys are pulling it up, but I've had people contact me from all over the country, man. That were at, this isn't a joke. He goes, all these people are going to be there, and it's only $60 and $38 for kids, and it's just like a giant. There'll be food, refreshments. They'll have a silent auction there of all wrestling memorabilia and stuff, and it's all to raise money. Like I said, they're going to put a giant Legends wall in this giant community center that's part of a Tampa project. Jewish Community Center is putting together. But I mean, it's going to be a huge project, and it was everybody and his grandma had wrestled in this place. It was at one point, like I said, it was everybody came through championship wrestling from Florida, those Gordon Solie years when he was the announcer, and that wrestled in the National Guard Auditorium here in Tampa, and it's close to downtown Tampa by the University of Tampa, and it's like I said, it's gonna. I don't know where everybody's going to go. That's all I can tell you. But it's a really good project that they're putting together. It's going to benefit all the people in the community. You know, the way the place is going to be set up in that, and then they're doing, because of the history there, a big Legends wall, and there will be many current and legends from the past that will be there that evening. So it should prove to be an awesome experience, and that's on the 11th of June in Tampa, Florida. And I'm sure you can type it in online, and I'm sure it'll pop up somewhere. You know, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the guy. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming on to our show. You're really easy to talk to. I could listen to you speak for hours.
I appreciate it, brother. Anytime you guys want to talk, you know, you just got to cut me off sometimes because I tend to babble, and I don't mean to. But,
that's all right. We can always edit
you know
it.
What I'm saying? I told you to left, man, so it's like, you know, an override.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Oh, man, you're very welcome, guys.
Have a great night, Fred. All right, that was awesome.
Yep.
Fred Ottman, everybody. If every guest were that easy, our job would be a lot easier. I mean, it's hopefully, you know, we get a lot more guests like that. He can talk, and it's great because it makes our jobs easier. And he's an awesome guy. He's really interesting. He has a lot of stories. And you know what? He should write a book. I know he doesn't think that he can or he doesn't want to, but I would love if he did.
I disapprove of his TNA hate.
Oh man, I had to mute my mic.
I like how right after you asked that, you could pinpoint the moment you regretted asking it.
All right, if you guys want to take a break, we can do that.
I'm good. Just Brian needs to take a break.
All right, okay. I mean, you could just mute yourself if you wanted to.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll carry on without you then.
So it's just me and you now.
Yeah. So Brian just had to take a break, so he's not here. So now we can talk about him without worrying about him.
For once, I can finally talk about TNA in a positive way and no interruption. So yay.
Well, from him at least.
Well, hey.
All right.
Don't start with me. So
Brian is here. He had to mute himself because something's going on where it would make a lot of noise. So he's pretty much muted. He's still here. So do you want to talk about TNA already?
Yes, when I have the opportunity and Brian cannot chime in, because I know he's listening and he wants to say something.
He's listening, but he can't say anything. Aha.
Ha! How do you like it? Ha! Yeah, well, Impact's moving to Wednesday starting June 3rd.
That's right.
Which I'm not a fan of TNA. I'm not a fan of TNA on Wednesdays due to the fact when they were on Spike still and they were Thursdays one week and Wednesdays the following. Wednesday Night Impact is not fit for me. It's either Thursday Night Impact or Friday night, which they should rightfully stay on Fridays. That's my opinion.
I do remember when Spike had them they cared so little about it that they like put it on whenever, which was really stupid. Like it was really dumb.
Especially the last like 2 weeks where it was at like 11 p.m. and like midnight for like 2 weeks there.
Yeah,
which is weird. And I stayed up for all of these. So that's the TNA talk for the week. So last night on Impact was Slammiversary 2014, which I loved back then, and I'm real glad they showed it last night in its entirety, and matches and all that. I really did like that, watching it all over again this morning, which is real good.
I think it's cool that they're showing older events. So, all right, let's talk about. Now I know that you love this, but let's talk about GFW, Global Force Wrestling. Global Farce Wrestling, more like. Am I right? Yeah.
It's Global Flop Wrestling.
I see what you did there.
Hey, you're not supposed to be here. You quiet, you.
Get lost.
Yeah, stay muted. You have no business being here.
Yeah. The biggest signings for Global Force this past week was Shelton Benjamin, D.H. Smith, Justin Gabriel, Chris Masters, Cliff Compton, and Chris effin Sabin. Am I right?
Nice.
Right?
You are right. Yes.
Exactly.
I'm trying to. I just googled GFW roster reveal, and the first link goes to globalforcewrestling.com/reveal. I go to it, and it's a 404 not found error, so that's not a good sign.
That's a sign for them.
That's not promising.
So we're going to see 404 versus 403 in the television tapings at the end of July. Nice. I want to be there.
I'm trying to find a non-video thing that I can look at. All right, let me see. The following wrestlers have been announced. PJ Black, formerly known as Justin Gabriel. Yeah, I think you already did most of these. Davey Boy Smith Jr., formerly known as G.H. Smith. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson of the Bullet Club. Is that Luke Gallows?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Quinn Moose Oshinaka. Chris the Adonis Bordetsky, formerly known as Lance Hoyt, Great Sonata, Thea Trinidad, and Lady Tapa from TNA. Nice. Not bad.
If you go to their actual website and look at their actual roster, it's like 5 or 6 more on top of that.
So I'm seeing there's also Stevie Richards, Kevin Thorne, Mason Ryan, Johnny the Bull Stamboli, Lodi, Maven. Interesting. Christian York.
Were you seeing that?
I don't know. It's a comment on some page. I'm not even sure if it's real or it's just he's making a joke. I have no idea.
If Christian York's on it, that's gonna be good.
Christian York. Blue Pants.
Christian York.
Yeah, I don't know. TJ Parker. Camacho, Tracy Smothers, and Lacey Von Erich. If that's real, that's pretty cool.
Camacho probably won't work.
Yeah.
It's TNA, but yeah, Tyrus is in TNA and he's going to be Global Force. Real weird. But I know I'm going to get a lot of heat from this, but the Bullet Club is extremely overrated.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like the Young Bucks.
I barely follow WWE as it is. I just want to take this moment to quickly plug our next episode, the upcoming episode of the XyCast, episode 3, where we will have the Blossom Twins on with us. We almost forgot. Scott Hall's profile has been pulled from the GFW roster. TMZ reported the other day that Scott Hall had to be escorted out of an indie event over this past weekend by security due to intoxication. So he has fallen off the wagon, which is not good. I really thought he was doing better. But he's been removed from the GFW roster, so apparently he's not going to be working for them. At least,
And that's
at least not anytime soon.
And that's a good sign for the global flop roster, right? And probably next week is when I'm gonna go off why I don't think Global Force will succeed. I'll do that next week.
Yeah.
And probably sometime in June, Brian's gonna love it, that I'm gonna reveal why I love TNA so much.
All right, that should only take like an hour or two.
Oh, 3.
Yeah. While we're waiting for Brian to come back from his exile, let's just touch on some minor news, wrestling news. Titus O'Neil has been named Celebrity Dad of the Year by Everything for Dads. Everything for Dads is what the fuck are they? Hold on.
I don't even know.
All right. Everything for Dads is part of the Dads World Network, whose mission they are a unique movement creating inspiration, support, and possibilities for 21st century parents everywhere, as well as a media hub for the media to be able to connect with innovative and well-informed parents on issues that matter. Some of the other nominees were Ashton Kutcher, Stephen Amell, David Beckham, Vin Diesel, and Kaka. Who is Kaka?
I don't know.
Ricardo Izesong dos Santos Leite. He is a Brazilian professional footballer. Kaká. I'm sorry, I said his name wrong because there is an accent over the second A. Good thing, because Kaká sounds like a slang word for poop. So I am glad that he's not poop. Or he's the opposite of poop. He seems really good. Oh, he was born. He's born April 22nd, 1982. So he's about a month older than I am, which means absolutely nothing. All right. Let's see. What else happened in the world of professional wrestling? Tommy Dreamer returned to the ring, accompanied by Jim Styles on NXT. That is actually really cool. Was that
At a Philly Lab event last Friday, I believe.
Oh, awesome. That's pretty cool.
Which honestly, I don't know how that worked due to the fact Dreamer's signed with TNA right now.
Is he still under contract with them?
I believe so, yeah.
That is weird. I'm actually more excited about Joey Styles returning to TV. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Steve Austin's podcast will return to the WWE Network on June 1st, and his guest, none other than Paul Heyman. WWE issued a press release confirming that Austin's podcast will be a monthly show on the WWE Network, and that future guests will include Hulk Hogan, Sting, The Undertaker, and various celebrities. That is very cool. I love the fact that Fred Ottman plugged the WWE Network a bunch of times. It's pretty funny. And WWE 2K16, the video game, has been the release date has been revealed to be October 27th, 2015. That is only 6 days after Marty McFly and Doc Brown traveled to the future in Back to the Future Part 2. October 27th, 2015.
Is when the teams will come back.
2015? You mean we're in the future? So,
wow.
I really love Back to the Future.
Same.
And so that's, yeah. All right. WWE has signed MMA fighter Gizim Selmani to a developmental deal for for WWE. Sorry. Jesus. Got TNA on the brain. That's no wonder I feel like crap. Anyway, Matt Bloom, aka Jason Albert, aka Tensai, aka Lord Tensai, aka Albert, aka Prince Albert, aka A-Train, has been promoted to head coach at NXT, while Sarah Amato, formerly known as Sarah Del Rey, has been promoted to assistant head coach to take the place of Bill DeMott, aka Hugh Morris, who was let go for various reasons. Wasn't he accused of sexual harassment or just regular harassment?
I don't know.
It's not very humorous.
Oh.
What?
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 Hugh Morris? What? All right. And former Ring of Honor booker and NWA World Champion Adam Pearce has been hired as a full-time coach and producer at the WWE Performance Center. Nice.
Who's Adam?
Who is Adam? I have no idea. He's former ROH booker.
And he was on TNA once or twice.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Lana has a small role in the movie Pitch Perfect 2. She'll be credited as CJ Perry, which is her real name. She was also in the original Pitch Perfect, also credited as CJ Perry. So that's cool. I haven't seen the first one at all, but when that song "When You're Gone" came out, I heard that song way too much that whole summer. My kids loved that song, and I got sick of it very quickly.
I haven't heard that song in probably a good year, maybe 2.
Well, allow me to sing it for you, and then it'll be stuck in your head. Right?
No.
No, I won't do that. Okay, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. Excuse me. This Diet Cream Soda is the best. You know that Walmart's brand of Diet Cream Soda is the best Diet Cream Soda I've ever had. It's weird. It's better than A&W's brand. It's better than Stop and Shop's brand. I don't know if you guys have Stop and Shop where you guys are.
I don't think we do.
Stop and Shop is a brand of supermarkets. I think they're mostly around the East Coast area. I'm not sure. But they're actually featured on the show Family Guy. Family Guy is based in a fictional town in Rhode Island. And there's a lot of things featured on that show that are actually real. For example, they go to Stop and Shop once in a while, and that's an actual supermarket chain around here. But yeah, so a little bit of trivia for you. I live about half an hour away from Quahog, Rhode Island, if it were real. And nobody cares.
Brian.
Yep.
Brian? Hey, Brian's back.
All right, well let's jump back into the news here, guys.
Yeah.
WWE Hall of Famer Sunny has supposedly signed a deal with Vivid to do hardcore porn movies, although she has denied it on social media.
Earmuffs, Eddie. Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I would have loved to see Sunny doing porn maybe 15 years ago at the latest. Even when she was on that WrestlingVixens.com website, Vixens with 3 X's, she was, I don't want to say on her way downhill. She was still good looking, but not as good looking as she was back in WWF. I don't know. Her looks kind of fluctuated, so I'm not one to be judgmental of a woman's looks, but I'm going to be optimistic on this one. I'm not going to buy it because I don't pay for porn like ever. But yeah, I'll stop. Yeah.
If it is true, does it surprise you at all?
No. You know what? She,
What?
I feel bad for her because she's been like hard up for money apparently lately. She hasn't been doing that well. So it doesn't surprise me for that reason that she needs the money. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, earn your money however you need to, there's nothing wrong about it. But no, but she has, it seems that she's been not doing so well financially lately. So, I mean, if it's true, good for her, and hopefully they pay well.
If she needs money that bad, I'm honestly surprised she hasn't tried to sell her Hall of Fame ring just like Abdullah the Butcher.
No, yeah. I mean, legally she could. I mean, it's hers. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it means something to her. I don't know. Maybe there's some sentimental value. I don't know. Who knows?
All right. Well, In other news, former WWE creative writer Joe Franciosi has passed away. WWE fans may remember him from the Raw segment in 2010, which was from the episode hosted by John Lovitz, where Joe removed his glass eye because Ted DiBiase wanted to buy it.
I don't think I was watching WWE back then. There was a period of a year or two when I just kind of tuned out for a little bit, so I'm pretty sure I missed that. But that sounds like Ted DiBiase, all right. But yeah, no, yeah. So our thoughts go out to his family and friends, loved ones. The cast of Entourage, the movie that's coming out based on the show of the same name, the whole cast: Adrian Grenier.
Maybe he's related to Sylvan.
Is he Stefan's brother?
He could be.
Adrian Grenier, Kevin Connolly, Kevin Dillon, and Jerry Favara. The cast of Entourage will be hosting the May 25th episode of Raw, coming up in a few days. Gee, I can't wait. I love it when they have guest hosts because they are never bad.
You know what they should have done here, though? They're forgetting the biggest star of Entourage. What about Jeremy Piven? They've had him on before with Ken Jeong and Jeremy Piven, and didn't they actually I remember him specifically jumping on John Cena from the top rope.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he only wants to appear when it's just him. I don't know. I mean, which is a valid reason, but who knows? I don't know.
Remember, the next actual pay-per-view is Banking the Money. Because when Piven was on Raw in 2009, he said Summerfest.
I forgot about that.
That's probably why he's not coming back.
WWE cash in the safe.
Exactly. Woo, can't wait.
And our final bit of news here: Rusev, star of the Russian Federation medal, was stolen by a fan named Nathan Eugene Leitner. He posted pictures online of him wearing the medal, and he actually tweeted, what did he tweet? He tweeted at Rusev, missing something or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he later posted a message saying that he did not steal the medal, and that it was given to him after a show by a cleaning crew simply because he asked if he could have it. That is, what? Nobody hired that cleaning crew. Because they will steal your stuff and give it to some random fan.
It's possible that they didn't realize the significance of the medal, but still, to give something like that away, that's ridiculous.
I mean, it may have thought that it was fake, and maybe maybe they thought that it belonged to the fan or something. But I'm thinking that medal's pretty heavy, because when WWE manufactures something or has something made like that, it's usually not plastic. It's usually some kind of metal. You know? Then again, I'm not sure, because Kurt Angle's medals, even they were props, but were they real metal? I don't know.
I think they were.
They looked like they were real metal. So I mean, I'm thinking it was heavy enough where it looked like something real, and you're working for WWE. You might want to put two and two together and think that it's a prop that they left behind, and they probably don't want to pay for a new one to be made. Then again, it's not like it was a championship belt or anything. If it was a belt, then I don't see how anybody could just hand it over to somebody. Unless the cleaning crew just did not give a crap, and they were just I don't care, whatever. I'm not a wrestling fan. I'm just here to clean up people's popcorn and spilled beer. Take whatever you want.
I don't see how the guy even slightly thinks that he might get away with it, because he posted the pictures originally on his Instagram, and he had his Facebook linked to the Instagram, and then of course on his Facebook it has where he lives. It's got the place where he works, all of that, all the information they need. But I don't know. Supposedly Vince was furious with Rusev over it,
right,
and was going to make him pay to replace it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that might have something to do with this whole, Lana and Rusev split right now.
What do you mean? They're punishing him by splitting him from Lana, or
Like it was pretty much assumed that he was going to lose to John Cena anyway, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see where it goes from here. But that the loss to Cena and then like immediately losing Lana, I don't know. It could ultimately be a result of this whole thing.
maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they'll know for certain or not. We never know these things. Could be, might not be.
It's not really breaking news, or at least it won't be when this airs, but I'm reading now that apparently a video has now surfaced online of Scott Steiner calling out Hulk Hogan. He said that Hogan's biggest claim to fame is body slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, and he offered $1 million to Hulk Hogan if he can body slam him on June 7th at the Legends of Wrestling event at Citi Field in Queens, New York.
Then again, didn't he threaten to kill him?
He did. So, allegedly.
So, I don't know.
Allegedly.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk, don't do it. It's a trap. It's going to kill you.
He says, I'm saying you can't slam me, and I'm putting up $1 million of my own money saying you can't. You don't have to beat me. You have to slam me. But once you step through the ropes, I'm going to beat you up, punk. So, I don't know if he's going to take him up on that.
It'd be interesting to see. We are now online, XyCast.com. The XyCast. Right now, it's just a WordPress blog, and our schedule is up, at least the public schedule.
All right. Well, we have reached that time again. We've got this week's top 5 countdown. This week, we are going to discuss our top 5 favorite wrestling movies.
Yes. Now, it's funny because I think I probably only know about 5 wrestling movies.
I haven't even watched 5.
That's all right.
I think I watched like 2.
Yeah.
Ready to Rumble and Knucklehead.
You haven't seen The Wrestler?
Nope.
Amazing movie.
Yeah.
Everybody should see that at least once because it's at the top of my list. It's a really, I don't know, it shows you how rough life after wrestling really can be. So I don't know, it kind of shows you what, some of the the older wrestlers, legends and such may be going through.
Number 5 would have to be Ready to Rumble. It's as a movie, but as a wrestling movie, it's still not a good movie, but it's interesting to see. Kind of tells you how WCW thought of wrestling fans at the time. They thought that we were uneducated, filthy, stupid idiots. Basically, David Arquette's character was how they viewed. But it's in my list because it's important in the sense that there was a world title match. It's important in the sense that the Holocaust was important, not necessarily good, but important. It's probably the Holocaust of wrestling movies. Number 4. Now, these are only the ones that I have seen. So if there are any missing from the list, it's because I haven't seen them. Number 4 would have to be No Holds Barred. It's a classic. There's a lot of 80s. It definitely has that 80s feel, which I like. There's quite a bit of WWF's immature humor in it too. There's that one guy that made Dookie because Hulk Hogan scared him so much. I don't know. It's really, really dumb. But again, it was also important because there was a wrestling angle that came out of it. Hulk Hogan versus Zeus, played by Tom Lister, Tiny Tom Lister. Fuck off. Tom Tiny Lister. So yeah, that's my number 4 pick. Number 3. See, it's getting tough now. All right, I'm probably gonna have to leave one out. Oh, of course. Number 3 would probably be Man on the Moon, which some people might not agree that it counts as a wrestling movie, but it does. It was a story about the life of Andy Kaufman, and a big part of his life was wrestling too. I mean, he was a wrestler technically. Wrestled Jerry the King Lawler, so I mean, it's definitely in there, and it was also important. I mean, Jerry Lawler was there, and in a brilliant bit of retconning, Jim Ross was also in there. Apparently, Jim Ross commentated for a lot of Jerry Lawler's matches back then. I don't know, whatever. Number 2 would have to be One Night in China. No, I'm just kidding.
That's that's an excellent choice.
I'm a huge fan of X-Pac. I mean, it doesn't get any better than No. All right. No, come on. Number 2 would have to be Beyond the Mat. Actually, as far as I know, it's the only real wrestling documentary out there. I mean, there probably are others, but none of them have, covered as much as Beyond the Mat has. They covered WWE and some stuff too. Is one of the movies that I am planning on making my fiance watch, who has just recently, last year, she decided to start watching wrestling with me, and I really want to watch that with her because it's really, it was one of the first of its kind to really show what happens behind the scenes, to show how the wrestlers are with each other, to show what they're like in real life, to show their struggles, to show, how they're trying to get to the top, what they're doing once they've been to the top, once they're trying to get back from the bottom. It's, it runs the gamut from, the beginnings of ECW to the height of WWE to the twilight of careers such as Terry Funk and the bottom of careers such as Jake the Snake Roberts, even though he's doing much better now, thankfully. But it has a wide range of areas of wrestling that it covers, and it's really good. Oh, see, I forgot about Hitman Hart Wrestling with Shadows. I have seen that, and that would probably be my number 1.5 on my list. But my number 1 is The Wrestler. It's very moving. And according to actual people who have been in the business, actual former legends, former wrestlers, it is a very authentic take on what it's like for some wrestlers after their careers end, or who are trying to recapture the fame and are trying to get back into the limelight, trying to have one more last match, even though they've already had a bunch of last matches. I kind of saw the main character as kind of like a Terry Funk analogy, or maybe a little bit of Mankind, Mick Foley in there. Mickey Rourke did a really good job portraying the wrestler, and a lot of well-known and maybe not well-known at the time pro wrestlers were in it. Necro Butcher was in it. He actually had a fairly large role in it. Ernest the Cat Miller played the Ayatollah, who was the main villain, not the main villain of the movie, but the main villain in the life of the main character. So the maybe the Mick Foley to the main character's Terry Funk, And Cesaro was actually in there. He's credited as wrestler. Obviously, I didn't know him at the time, so I don't know what part he played, but he was in there. But yeah, choosing the wrestler as the number one movie was tough because one other movie came in I almost mentioned as my number one, Backdoor to China. That was a classic. All right, I said it. I said it. I'm done. All right, that's it for me. So.
That was a smooth transition.
I tried. Yeah.
You sounded so serious, like you meant it.
Yeah, I tried it. All right, so who's next? Eddie, I know you've seen a ton of wrestling movies. You've got to have at least 5.
I haven't even.
No, it's okay. You can. Oh, fine. Mute your mic like that. How about you, Brian? No. You muted your mic. That's it.
Hey.
All right, fine. What were the 2 that you've seen?
I haven't even seen 5.
Okay. How many and what were they?
Ready to Rumble and Knucklehead.
Knucklehead?
Yeah.
No, sorry, I was calling you a Knucklehead. I was repeating what you were saying.
But Ready to Rumble was the first one I saw back in 2008 or something. Even though I have 12 movies right now. But oh well.
All right.
All right. Is that
Yeah.
Is that all? Are you finished?
I guess that was it.
Yeah.
Riveting.
All right. Well, for my top 5, I have to go. Number 5 would be No Holds Barred. I really, really like that movie. The best part about it, though, I loved that Stan Hansen was in that movie, and I'm a huge Stan Hansen fan, so that was pretty cool. 4th place would have to be Beyond the Mat. Much like Richard said, it really showed everything what actually goes on behind the scenes in the wrestling business. It maybe shows too much as far as maybe like Jake the Snake Roberts. It gets really deep into his addictions and his relationship with his daughter and everything like that. But amazing documentary. Number 3 is, it's not so much a wrestling movie as it's the biopic for Andy Kaufman, Man on the Moon, which Jim Carrey did an excellent job playing that role. I don't think anybody else would have been able to do it quite like he pulled it off. Number 2, Ready to Rumble. Loved it. Tons and tons and tons of wrestler cameos in it. I thought it had a really good cast. David Arquette was really funny in the role that he was put in. Number 1, definitely The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke did a great job on that. He actually, after that movie came out, he made an appearance at WrestleMania. I forget which one it was. Do either of you remember?
I want to say
Mania 25.
Yeah, where Jericho had a match against a bunch of legends, and after the match, Mickey Rourke got in there, knocked him out, and then celebrated with who was it? Piper. I want to say Snuka and Steamboat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Movie was great. I loved it. And then yeah, that would be my top 5. Although honorable mention, One Night in China. I mean, it's the greatest horror movie I've ever seen. X-Pac did really good in that role, I'm telling you.
Oh God. he is a really good actor. He really acted the part of somebody who is actually interested in her.
Yeah, that's one of those like what do they call them? The found footage film.
Yeah, Blair Witch.
It's like no, because nobody wants to see that.
Oh man. And on that note, I think we should end this show now before it gets any worse.
All right, next week should be a good episode.
Yeah.
And I guess that will do it for this week's XyCast.
You know who else didn't believe? C3.
We almost went an entire episode without beer. You want to get started this late?
It had to happen.
Don't worry, Brian. There's a lot of teenage chocolate juices. Not Dave Hart.